Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond of Bitcoin Live 00144 hashtag same old. So I'm back, and thank you for everybody in the chat patiently waiting. Anyways, let me go over the note section. It's been a while since I've done this. I'll tell you what I've been up to and what I've done. And I'll share you some good stories here for you, and give you a little bit more information about why I think the price went down recently, besides the obvious, which everybody else talks about, which the problem is the only reason they talk about why the price went down, price of Bitcoin went down recently, is from the headlines and some other stuff going on in the cryptocurrency space. But I have some other information that might shed some light. Anyways, let me go over the note section real quick. Bond trading view. I have a bond trading view list of top 58 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high. Flagged for shorts. I'm going to do a little differently. I'm not going to flag them. I'm actually just going to show you different ways which you can view the bond trading view to your advantage. You could choose to look at them in a way that looks like you could short them to get more Bitcoin, or you could actually try to buy into the altcoin itself. Seems to be working lately. Like a lot of altcoins have gone up in price. Maybe even perhaps you made more Bitcoin. Maybe. I'll check it out. We'll see. Next is Genesis block 0. Now, I wasn't here for January the 3rd because I decided to take, let me see, after December 25th all the way to pretty much today, but pretty much all the way up to January 8th. The reason is that's when the kids go back to school, and I like to spend time with my family. And then let me see here. So I'll talk about the Genesis block. And then I have a link to the Genesis block through the wiki. I think the Bitcoin wiki, if I'm not mistaken. And then also in the note section, someone did donate. I think it was Brian. Thank you, Brian. I could tell because it's your address. But the ninth clue to the ninth word of the 24-word Mnemonic Seed is in the note section. I'll just go ahead and I'll read it to you right now. I'll go over it eventually, but it's, since we're talking about the Genesis block, and so Genesis, I believe it's chapter 7, verse 1. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Enter the ark, you and all your household, for you alone I have seen to be righteous before me in this time." That is the clue to the ninth word. That is the ninth clue to the ninth word of the 24-word Mnemonic Seed. So hopefully you all enjoy that. And then I have the actual BIP itself, the BIP 39 English text. I use the English text for my 24-word Mnemonic Seed, although there's many, 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 many languages that you can use. I mostly speak English and read English and type English, so it's an English text. So forgive me for everyone who doesn't speak any English or know any English, but if that's the case, you probably are not watching my channel anyway. But there's a list of over 2,000 plus words that you can try to guess the Mnemonic Seed. All right, then I have Coinspectator, real-time cryptocurrency news aggregator. I'll go over those as well. And then I have CryptoPanic is a news aggregator platform indicating impact on price and market for traders and cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Those two sites, very useful. I use them. I actually use them to do the live stream. I'll check on them all day and see what's interesting. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go into them just a little bit because it. Although I didn't make any videos, I was keeping tabs, and the Coinspectator and CryptoPanic kind of helped me keep up to date without watching anybody's video. I didn't watch too many videos because I was driving and enjoying my time. Anyways, I'm on CryptoPanic.com right now, and I'm looking at it, and it says North Korea may be turning to cryptocurrency to funnel cash into a sanctions-hit economy. Fortune.com. This is 4 minutes ago. I think they've been rewriting some of this stuff. I've seen some similar headlines here. And Ripple version 0.81.0 from Ripple.com. Ripple's been a hot topic. I don't know why, but you know, I guess if you can make money off of trash, which people do make money off of trash in real life. You know, I've been in the fortunate enough to been employed at some point in my life in the recycle industry, and yes, you can make money off of trash. Even trash itself you can make money. So if you can make money off of trash, why there shouldn't be any reason you can make any money off of Ripple either. But that was 15 minutes ago. And let me see. Storm token listed on Radar Relay. Okay, I don't know what Storm is, but you know, there's a flavor of a token every day or every other day. Let me see. 2008 could be a banner year for NVIDIA miners. This is coming from Cointelegraph 39 minutes ago. Here's another one. Harvard professor predicts Bitcoin collapse due to government regulation 1 hour ago, coming from Cointelegraph. Let me see here. Let me skip over some. U.S. government to sell Bitcoin seized from dark web dealer. This is coming from Bitcoin.com 1 hour ago. Let's see here. I'm just going to go over some that I think are interesting. There's a lot of feeds coming in. Let me see here. A lot of feeds. This is interesting. Bitcoin rises to above 16K amidst price drop in other altcoins. This is 2 hours ago. This news seems to be a little late. I don't know who's reporting this, but they're like about almost 2 days late in this report. So I guess they get an F for that headline there. Let me just scroll down here. Let's see what else is here. Oh, reports claim messaging app Telegram is preparing a 500 million initial coin offering. Interesting. I do use Telegram. I do have it to communicate, but I don't use it that often. Here's another headline. Ethereum continues move up ahead of time. This is coming from coinclarity.com. Ethereum has been on the rise. It's been over $1,000. Surprise, surprise. And what does that mean? I mean, I'm not even sure what that means, really. I'm confused. I'm dazed and confused. Here's another one. Okay, this is what I was looking for. Fund manager say Bitcoin ETF proposals withdrawn due to U.S. SEC concern. And so it looks like there may not be an ETF coming up. Let me see. That's about the other. That's about it. I mean, Coinspectator.com. Let me go to the next one, CryptoPanic, just to give you an idea of what's going on right now. Excuse me, it's refreshing right now. Bitcoin cash price technical analysis. Okay, that's from BTC.com. That was 32 minutes ago. Let me see. 2018 could be banner year for NVIDIA miners. That's Cointelegraph. Same story, 43 minutes ago. Here's another one. Harvard professor predicts Bitcoin collapse due to government regulation. This is another Cointelegraph. Obviously, same thing. What's important is that this has, what I like about CryptoPanic is that they have negative and positive for every story that comes out. So if you have the app, or if you're logged in, I think you can kind of upvote and downvote, kind of, so to speak, give a positive or negative. But it does have 4 important. So I did notice that. Let me see. Advocate files for immediate regulation of Bitcoin in India. Decentralized application building made easy with Fabric token. I don't even know what that is. Fabric token, okay. Looks like they fabricated that out of thin air. Let's see here. Bitcoin price technical analysis came out about an hour ago. Bitcoin price technical analysis for today, which is January 9th, or tomorrow, I should say, or today, depends where you are. January 9th, 2018. We're in 2018. Happy New Year, everybody. Break and retest. Let me check if I'm still streaming. Yes, I'm still streaming. All right, so that's kind of been the scenario here. Why EOS will overtake Cardano in 2018. 2 negatives and 1 positive, coming from the R Bitcoin. No, I'm sorry, Reddit from R EOS. Let me see here. Withdrawal fees. No amount is acceptable from R Binance. 2018, the year we democratized blockchain. This is coming from Coindesk.com 2 hours ago. This is about Ethereum. I don't know how you can democratize a blockchain when it's centralized, but okay. 2 hours ago, Ripple price is down 24%. This is coming from CoinMarketCap.com. And if you look on CryptoPanic.com, you'll see that there's 9 positives with 2 negatives. So more people are positive about the price of Ripple going down. I don't even know how the price of Ripple is going up, considering there's a lot of people. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of people. I would say a lot of people who know what Ripple is, and they're pretty sure that it's not really worth its value of what it is right now. So a lot of noobs may be buying it. Who knows? Let me see. 2 hours ago, Happy Verge Day. Today must be the day Verge created its own blockchain. It's 14 positive, 3 negatives, 1 important. Let's see what else. Let me see what else I can go through, if there is anything of more importance. No, not too much other than that. You all can check it out. Go to the link in the note sections, and very useful site. I use it all the time to keep up to date. So let me continue on. Oh yeah, starting. I'm going to start right back where I left off. It's time to stop meme. If you link on that meme, it's time to stop with these hard forks. There's coins that are not even anything to do with Bitcoin. They're just rebranding themselves and just putting a Bitcoin whatever, Bitcoin trash, Bitcoin crap, Bitcoin, toilet. They're just rebranding themselves now. They're not even hard forking the Bitcoin blockchain anymore. They're just hard forking their own coin and putting Bitcoin in front of it. And it has nothing to do with Bitcoin whatsoever. And then there's other so-called airdrops where you have to register your address with Bitcoins in them in order to get the airdrop coins. So they're not even hard forking off the I guess I don't know if they're hard forking. They're taking a snapshot of a certain block height, and then they're creating their own blockchain, their own Genesis block. From what I can understand, their own Genesis block, and airdropping their own tokens onto Bitcoin users or Bitcoin hodlers. They're not even hard forking off the Bitcoin blockchain anymore. So anyways, when it gets to that point, it's time to stop. It really is. Stop promoting it. Stop. Well, I talk about it too, but you know, we should really realize that, you know, getting free airdrops as a Bitcoin holder is very short term. It doesn't do anything. Long term, it doesn't do anything. All right. So, anyways, let me continue. So here is a list of all the joke forks, meme forks, potential hard forks, joke forks, and fake forks. We may have to go through them. I'm not even listing anymore because I'm getting tired. But Bitcoin Uranium, which I'll probably take off now. Bitcoin Cash Plus, Bitcoin Classic, Super Bitcoin, which I think really did happen. Bitcoin Diamond BID, which I don't think is real. Bitcoin Diamond BCD, which did happen, but I haven't been able to get any of these coins. And we're like at January 9th with more forks coming. So Bitcoin X, Bitcoin Faith, SegWit 2X, Bitcoin God. And then, of course, I have a list of airdrops, cryptocree.com if you were looking for that kind of stuff. I haven't been able to collect on any of these, and I would be very, very suspicious and be very, very skeptical about it. And the wallets that they're using, looks like a lot of it's coming from China. And of course, you know, China does, you know, they do a lot of knockoffs, of course. So you got a lot of knockoff Bitcoin knockoffs. You know, like if you want a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci bag or a wallet or something, why pay full price instead of getting the high quality, you know, Gucci leather wallets and bags from wherever they come from, usually Europe? Why do that when you could pay a fraction of the price and you can feel good about yourself, right? And get a you know, basically a fake branded Gucci bag. Well, why would you want a Bitcoin when you can get a fake Bitcoin for a fraction of the price? Matter of fact, I think the price that that some of these forks of Bitcoin that are being offered are overpriced. They should probably come down a lot more. Then when people can ask you, like, do you have any Bitcoin? You can kind of like say, yes, I have Bitcoin. I have 1,000 Bitcoins or whatever. You know, you could just, you know, just neglect to tell them it's just a fork of Bitcoin that's called Bitcoin whatever, Bitcoin Faith, Bitcoin God, Bitcoin Diamond, whatever you want to call it. Bitcoin Diamond, you'll actually get 10 to 1. So you know, you can tell people that you have a lot of Bitcoin. Anyways, let's go on here. SegWit chart. I have the next in the notes section. I have a lot of useful links. SegWit charts. I don't know if SegWit has been more adopted or not. Last time I checked, this has been around 10 to 12%. I suspect it'll be that way because it's like adopting a new wallet or a new format. It's really hard to get people to get on something like this. And then, you know, with Lightning coming up, you know, these are all things that will take time, a lot of time. But we'll see. We'll see. Next is Coin Codex, a listing platform. It's been a while since I've been there, but it's very similar to CoinMarketCap. Live Coin Watch, really enjoy that one. Maybe I'll go over that today. Another listing platform. CoinGecko, another listing platform. BitInfo Charts, another listing platform. A little different. Has more fundamentals. You know, block times, transaction volume, transaction cost, hash rate, good stuff. And Joho mempool statistics. So I will be going over, you know, the chart analysis of Bitcoin as well as the mempool and as well as Joho mempool statistics. I'll go over the fees. And then Salome.io, another listing platform. It's been a long time I've been there. It is a social media volume, Salome, and measures the social media volume as well as the price of the coin. Really good if you're an altcoin trader, or if you like taking very high risk on altcoins. You buy them up as soon as people are socially engineered to buy them. You got to realize that these coins don't do anything, right? They don't. Most of these coins, 99.999999% of these coins, don't do anything. And the only way to get people to buy into them is to socially engineer them to buy them. So this is where Salome.io comes in really handy. Transaction accelerator, is it useful? Maybe. Bitcoin Cash hash rate, historical chart 6 months. This is a link to BitInfo charts where I have the two comparison of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash because they compete for the same mining algorithm. Last time I checked, and I'm pretty sure it's the same way, Bitcoin has probably gone up on their hash rate, and Bitcoin Cash has probably somewhat gone up, not as much. They stagnate a little bit, but that should give you an idea of the comparison of which network is more valuable. All right, let's continue on here. Collecting your free Bitcoin Gold coins with Coinami. It's a link to their support desk if you still haven't figured out how to collect your Bitcoin Gold. If you haven't, let me put it this way. If you're having trouble extracting your Bitcoin Gold from your Bitcoin, basically splitting your Bitcoin Gold from Bitcoin, you should probably sell everything that you have in this cryptocurrency space and then leave, because you shouldn't be in this space. All right, that should be the litmus test. Can you split your Bitcoin Gold using Coinami? The most easiest thing I've ever done. I also make a video of it as well, how to split Bitcoin Gold, BTG01. Once you do that, you can probably sweep your other private keys from your Bitcoin to get Bitcoin Gold. If you don't have Coinami, or you can't get Coinami, Coinami does have a mnemonic code converter in which you can probably use your backup seed or your Mnemonic Seed and to split your Bitcoin Gold from your Bitcoin. So you can do that. You still need a Bitcoin Gold wallet though. And then I have a link to Bitcoin Gold. Be careful when you go there, because so far we've had several wallets that have been compromised where they steal your Bitcoins. So be careful when you find a Bitcoin Gold wallet. All right. And then finally, I'm still seeing advertisement for BitConnect by Craig Grant and his mistress Juliana, or Juliana, whatever her name is. Lately, I've heard that BitConnect has gotten a cease and desist letter from the state of Texas. What does that mean? Probably doesn't mean anything, because we all know that eventually BitConnect will exit scam. It's not going to stick around. Matter of fact, I think the price has been going down. And maybe if you compare it with Bitcoin value, you'll probably notice that the price of BitConnect tokens versus Bitcoins, they've been going down as well. So the exit is probably already started, if not starting. And so watch out for that. But if you are interested in BitConnect, you might want to read these articles in the note section here. Why has ICO Index labeled BitConnect as an outright fraud? Notice regarding high yield coins on top of BitConnect. What is BitConnect and why have we decided to distance ourselves from it? And if you like to watch a video about BitConnect, I have a great video for you to watch. James Bond Bitcoin Live 0017. I interview three BitConnectors. I'm sure they're all millionaires by now. I have a, if you go to the video link, I have their YouTube channels. If they're still around, they're probably, maybe they're not around, but they're all probably billionaires. You know, that's why, you know, BitConnect got a cease and desist order from the state of Texas, because, you know, BitConnect was making everybody a billionaire. That's totally unfair. You know, I want to be a billionaire. Anyways, that's the joke, people. BitConnect is a Ponzi. It's a scam. Anyways, okay, I'm in the last part of my notes section. It's it is this is where I get to link to other videos about the theme. It's a video theme for this video. It's the same old song, Four Tops, Motown, Northern Soul, cover by Sarah Collins. And then I have another video. It's the same old song, the Four Tops, cover by the Miller Brothers. So hence hashtag same old, because it's the same old song with a different melody since you've been gone. That's right. It's the same old song with a different melody since you've been gone. I'll go over that just a little bit. And then I have the wonderful meme that you're looking at here. Hashtag yes2x 115. I made 115 memes, probably a little bit more since I started counting them. I'm still waiting for my 2x hard fork, which hasn't come around. The first one died, and then all these other potential 2x hard forks, well, it seems like it never came. I don't know what's the problem. I have an extra link for you, Canada 150. All right, I have a link for that, and I'll be sharing that with you. I'll share a nice little lovely picture of Canada. It turns out Canada became 150 years old. I didn't know that until I actually went there. So good for you, Canada. Happy 150th birthday. And then I have a link to Pot of Gold, as well as the donational address for the Bitcoin Pot of Gold, which I did have, of course, Brian. I think it was Brian donated to the Bitcoin Pot of Gold. So, all right. So let's say hello to everyone in the live chat. Let's have a look here in the live chat here. Let's see who all is in here. All right. Wow. Looks like a lot of people. Hello, everybody. Let me see. Let's go up. Richie Rich, Happy New Year to you. And Happy New Year to all the hollers. Yes. And Brian, it's good to see you. It is good to be back. Hopefully you have a lot of Dogecoin, because I know Dogecoin keeps going up and up. And also Flashcoin has gone up. I couldn't believe it. It's gone up to almost 22 cents. I think FUD Machine sent a message over letting me know that Flashcoin, I think Brian has some Flashcoin. It was an airdrop. Last time I checked, I have 5,000, and it was like $1,000. It was like 23 cents or something like that. That's awesome. I don't have Cryptopia. I think that's the only place you could trade them. I probably won't sell them, because I have, if I got them for free, I just don't sell them. You know, I think to me that's just, you know, disrespectful. If someone gives you, you know, their altcoin or their token, or you get an airdrop, you got them for free, so just hold on to them. I bet you in the long run they will all go up in price, not because they're valuable, because of inflation. In my opinion, straight and simple inflation. All right, so Brian, 144 is your number. I know. I'm beginning to understand why now. Let's see, 21 million club. Welcome to the chat. And then dual overhead Camness. I'm glad to see you too. You know, it's good to be back. I don't know if I'm going to do this every day or not. I'm contemplating. It's been a long time. well, it hasn't been a long time, but it's been a long time since I was able to take a break from the cryptocurrency space. I did keep tabs, but I wasn't, it wasn't on my mind 24/7. And I have to tell you, it felt good. It felt good. Um, not because I don't like the space or I'm getting exhausted or tired of Bitcoin. It just felt good to not think about Bitcoin as much or the cryptocurrency space and spend time with my family. Although I did ditch my wife. And I just took the kids to Canada, and we enjoyed a lovely winter vacation. Most people would leave the snow and head down south, maybe to Texas, to get some nice sun. I did the opposite. I went up north to enjoy the cold weather and the snow. And then, it wasn't really that cold because it's a dry coldness. So the temperature does fall. It does feel, it's colder for sure, but it doesn't feel as cold, ironically. I felt colder here in Texas than I did up when I was up in the Toronto, Buffalo area. I did go through and Niagara Falls pretty much. And so it's kind of weird that way. Would I live there? Not really. But I did enjoy visiting while I was there. Had plenty of fun. Let me see here. What is going on here? Julie G, Happy New Year to you. Thank you very much. I saw your message to me. I'm glad all of you or some of you missed me. Let me see. Crypto Kerbit. I wondered where you have been. Oh, well, I've been in Canada, and I took some time off and enjoyed my time off. And I would have to say, for our people out there, take time off away from this space. It puts everything. In my experience, it put me into perspective that the world doesn't revolve around Bitcoin. I know that's shocking. The world does not revolve around Bitcoin. The world doesn't revolve around you, but you are the most important. Yes, you, the audience who are listening, and you in the chat, you are the most important thing to yourself. So you should take some time for yourself to do the things that you want to do. And so taking a break from Bitcoin and the live streams, it felt good. It really did. Actually, I enjoyed it a lot. And I recommend doing this. Everybody should do this. Take however long you want to do, 1 month, a year, 1 day, whatever, at least a couple days, but go and check yourself into like a hotel or motel or a series of hotels and motels and just enjoy yourself. Like, you could just sit down and not do anything, just lay down, whatever, go out, travel, whatever you want to do, but take yourself out of your, let me see, am I not sharing? Yeah, I'm screen sharing. I am screen sharing. Just take yourself out of what you're doing and, see if anybody cares. See if you make a difference. There's a really good chance you don't make a difference. There's a really good chance that most people will not care. Most people. But what it did for me was it put something in perspective that, well, first of all, when I did travel, no one came up to me and said, "Hey, did you hear about this thing called Bitcoin or Ripple or Dogecoin or Tron or IOTA? It's going to revolutionize the world." That didn't happen. All right. Not that I was looking for it, but as I was traveling and doing things and walking around, nobody came up to me, and I didn't hear about it in any conversation that I was doing or at. That there's this great thing called cryptocurrencies, and they're going to revolutionize the world. It only seems to only exist between us and YouTube and Steam it, and then the sub forums on Reddits and Bitcoin talk forums. Those are the only place where cryptocurrencies seems to be a big deal. Once you leave that space and you just join the rest of the world, well, a lot of people don't know about it. So interesting. Bud Machine, how you doing? Good to see you. Good. Thank you for your message, by the way. And I didn't sell my Flash coin. Let me see. As much as we don't like these trash coins, are going to be making money for a while. Yeah, CryptoCurbit, I think so. I think so. I think so. Let me see. Let me see. Can you share your screen? I think my screen is already shared. Huddle, good to see you. Good to hear you as well. Let me see. Rhodium, Leisure Picker, how you doing? Bitcoin Rhodium. Yeah, I don't registering when you have to register the amount of Bitcoin that you have to get another coin. I would say forget it. That's my opinion. Forget it. If I had a choice between Bitcoin Rhodium and my Bitcoin, which one would I choose to keep? I would choose to keep my Bitcoin. I'll be honest with you. If I have to register, it's weird. I don't like doing that. That's just the paranoia person in me. Let me see. Let me see here. Who else is in the live chat here? Is this everybody? Yeah, it looks like it's everybody here. Let me just scroll down. Let me see. K7 Gexer 1000. May see a McAfee Doge pump. Yeah, McAfee's been really pumping. He's been pumping hard. And, I have to wonder, like, if he uses there's got to be a joke in there somewhere. If he's pumping coins, is he also like pumping his penis? Because the more he pumps, eventually all that money is eventually just going to end up in Bitcoin. So that's just me. There's got to be a joke in there, but with McAfee pumping all these coins, it's probably something to do with a penis pump too. But let me see. Jolie G says, James, FOI, your screen was not sharing when the comments, so please share your screen were made. You started sharing with us when you looked at chat. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm going to check here. Yeah, I'm still sharing. All right. Well, sorry if I wasn't sharing. I think it went out for a little bit and then came back on. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. Let me continue on. I'll show you some lovely pictures. Let's go on to the meme here. Okay, so first of all, everyone, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to Block Zero. In some ways, now that I'm back in the cryptocurrency space, I adjust my new year to January the 3rd. That's actually when my new year really begins. So Happy New Year, Block Zero. And so that's what I'm celebrating. And if you see, I don't know what that is. That's obviously London. That's London, and you see the fireworks and everything. While I was in Canada, I stayed at the Marriott next to the stadium where the Blue Jays play, next to the CN Tower. That's usually the place that I go. And I go there because I like, first of all, the Marriott's very nice. I get my Canadian dollars worth. How you doing, Free Skillshare Media? Welcome back. I'm back, and I it's really nice compared to, I think, Marriott in the U.S. or some other cities. That that one for being in downtown Toronto is not bad, although it's a little pricey during the New Year timeframe. I do enjoy it a lot, and had breakfast in bed, and it's right next to the CN Tower. And I like to go to the 360 restaurant. So here's a tip for everyone: if you ever go to Toronto, if you make a reservation to the 360 restaurant in the CN Tower, the restaurant rotates 360 degrees. That's why it's called 360 restaurant. But if you make a reservation, and you have to do a reservation. That's the thing about it. You have to have a reservation. You can actually go up to the tower for free after you eat. So you eat. It's pretty pricey though. It's like, I spent like maybe 100, no, 300 Canadian dollars. You know, I added a tip and everything, so 300 Canadian dollars, which is about, let me see, 70, 140, 240, 240 bucks. But I had the lobster and steak, and let me see, someone else ordered lamb chops, and then macaroni and cheese. So not bad. It's pretty pricey, but you get to go up there. You get to eat at the restaurant. You get to sit down and watch. Just you're rotating, and so you'll see the lights, and you'll see the. I went at night, so you'll see the bay, and then after that, you can simply just walk. I think you walk down, so you can walk down towards the observation deck, and you can get a free trip, because I think it's like $36 just to go up into the tower. 36 US, I think 36 Canadian dollars. So that's a free trip. And so we went there during the night, and then on New Year's Day we went during the day to see everything. And there's also another area. So there's an observation deck, and then there's a second area where they have a glass floor, which freaks me out, which is not too bad. But they have an outside area, but it's in the winter. It was kind of cold. Not too many people were outside. Let me see. Oh, Free Skillshare Media has some breaking news for us. Hold on. We're going to have to go to the breaking news here. Plex ASM, welcome to the live chat. Let me see here. First of all, hashtag Ethereum will change to a proof of stake block validation method as opposed to proof of work method used by other currencies such as Bitcoin. Well, we already knew that. But looks like Free Skillshare Media has some breaking news. Breaking news, everyone. Ding, 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 ding. Make some noise out there. USI Tech shuts down USA operations. BitConnect next. Yes. Well, that's new. I did not see that coming in, but thank you, Free Skillshare Media. USI Tech was pretty much a Ponzi. It's not as bad as BitConnect, but that's interesting. Well, that's interesting. It's possible BitConnect could be next, but we all know BitConnect is a scam, and they're going to eventually exit scam. So I suspect that they won't care, and they'll continue. They will continue until they die, literally. Let me see. Plex ASM. Let's see what you have to say. You say, James, I think you're wrong about people not caring about crypto. Everywhere I go, non-technical people want to talk to me about crypto. Well, do you advertise yourself a little bit on that? Do you wear a Bitcoin like logo or something? First of all, how do people know that you know anything about crypto? Because when I go out, I don't talk to anyone. I don't talk to anybody about Bitcoin or anything. The only time I actually do like talk to people about it is, believe it or not, when I go to the border of Canada and they ask me all these weird questions, and I have to like be consistent because they keep tabs on me. They know, I brought a gun to the border. They know, all the stuff. They know all that stuff. So they'll ask me like, you know, what do you do for a living? They always ask me, what do I do for a living? So, I already told them I trade Bitcoin, so I have to keep telling them I trade Bitcoin. That's the only time I ever talked to anybody about trading cryptocurrencies. And no, they didn't ask me if I have a Trezor or anything. And so there's, uh, I haven't been on a plane yet overseas, but, when I go to the Canadian border and I drive over or walk over, they don't ask me if I have like $1 million in cryptocurrency. They want to know how much cash you have. So Huddle, Mr. Looks like Huddle says USI, those jokers have my Bitcoin locked up 2 days. Wow. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let your Bitcoin go. It's unfortunate, but when the Ponzi starts collapsing, I don't think they have your Bitcoins. So BitConnects X. So BitConnect will hold them for a year. Yeah, I think they hold them for like 200, more than 200 days. Which are if you think about it, they started around the beginning of the year, around maybe May or April. And you have to think that they're probably around their 200-day, 298 days or 299-day time frame. And I think they're almost at the end anyway. So whether they got a cease and desist letter, I don't think it really matters, because they're just going to keep running with it until it collapses. I mean, that's the whole point of a Ponzi, right? Ponzi's don't last forever. The whole point of the Ponzi is to extract money from everybody, and you know until the actual Ponzi, the pyramid itself, collapses onto itself, and then there's a few winners who make out with all your money, and a lot of people who lose money. That's how it works. Leisure Picker, you're all in 20K into BitConnect. Wow. Well, good luck to you, sir. Good luck to you. Free Skillshare Media. You must be. Are you pulling? Are you pulling from the crypto? What is it? It's from my websites here. The news aggregators, Coinspectator or CryptoPanic. That must be breaking news. Anyways, let's go on to the rest of the story here. Thank you for that breaking news. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go on to the next thing here. All right, everyone, we are Bitcoin Pot of Gold. So Bitcoin Pot of Gold, QR code on the left side here is a donational address. I think Brian donated. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Please donate so that way I can give out all the clues. So one of you can be a lucky winner and get all those Bitcoins. I think there's like $150 worth of Bitcoin. I'll go over it real quick. QR code here on the right side is the encrypted private key. There's two ways to sweep all these Bitcoins. And the first way is to donate, and I'll give out the clues to the 24-word Mnemonic Seed. You have to figure out what the words are. And the other way is to scan this encrypted private key and try to guess the password. You can try to brute force it if you want. But for $150, probably not really worth brute forcing, but you can try it. And then this QR code here, if you just scan with regular barcode or QR code scanner, it takes you to a YouTube channel for Yellow Fever for You. He's the one that gave me this idea. So thank you, Yellow Fever for You. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. So here is the Bitcoin Pot of Gold donational address. Here's another QR code, another opportunity for you to donate all your Bitcoins. Anyways, as we see, I did get an address, a donation here, right here, as you see. I think it did come from Brian because I do recognize that address. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it very much. And it looks like it's still unconfirmed. That was sent December the 27th, if I'm correct, 2017. So it's still unconfirmed. Of course, it's a 28, almost 29 Satoshi per byte fee. So it'll be interesting to see how long this takes to confirm. So this is an interesting test. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And so there we go. All right. So thank you very much. And good luck to all of you. For the one person who's going to get all these Bitcoins, $156 worth right now at current value. Let's see what it is in Bitcoin. 0.01 Bitcoin at least 0.01 Bitcoin. And so not too bad. Actually, some people wouldn't mind having that much Bitcoin right now. Someone in Venezuela would probably kill to have this much Bitcoin. They're a millionaire in Venezuela to have this much Bitcoin. In bolivars. They're a millionaire in bolivars. That's the joke there. So anyways, let's go on here. All right. So so here's my picture of Canada. It's a compilation here. I took 4 different pictures from the Niagara restaurant called The Elements. And the restaurant's called Elements. And I go there every time. Every time I go to Canada, I go when I go through Niagara. And typically I do. What happens is I go to Buffalo. Let me scroll. Let me zoom in so you all can see it here a little bit better. There we go. And pan to the left here so you can kind of see it. So every time I go in, and you can see all the snow. I mean, you could look at this. Look at the ice. The trees here have turned to ice for the most part. They're covered in ice. I mean, it's really a winter wonderland. They look like crystals and everything. Really enjoyed it. And they got snow. It's snowing, and it's snowing. Obviously, they got trucks to. I don't know what they put. I think it's phosphorus. I don't think it's salt, but I think it's some kind of like material. It's not quite gravel, but they put it on the walkways so that it won't get iced up and you won't slip and fall and crack your head open. They kind of really maintain it out there, but you could see, and that's the river. I guess they call it the Niagara River. I'm not sure. There's an island right there, all iced up and everything. And then there's the falls, the Horseshoe Fall. And when I go there, every time I go to Canada, most of the tourism is done over on the Canadian side. I do notice that. And what I think, it's just the way it's set up, because when you go over to hey, how you doing, Hiroja Shibe, Space Odyssey Network? Good to see you. So when I go to and thank you very much, Hiroja. Thank you. This is not quite well photoshopped, but I try to line up the horizon and the fall. As you can see right here, the snow doesn't quite match and everything. But anyways, I only took four pictures of it, so just wanted to share that with you. But all the tourism is basically set up on the Canadian side. If you go to the U.S. side, they have the national park, and then they have the American Falls. They have two parts of it. but you can't see anything except Canada for the most part. You know, you see the falls. You're at the edge of it. It's a little different, but it's on an island, and there's not much tourism on the U.S. side, in my opinion. They have restaurants and casinos, but it's different. It's not like right at. It's not right next to the falls. You know, it's the park itself on the American side. On the U.S. side, it's, you know, you're at the falls, but there's no restaurants, there's no walkways per se, so it's quite different. It's just sightseeing. When you go on the Canadian side, I mean, they got restaurants, they got casinos, they got it right there, right, all walking distance. So most of the tourism is literally on the Canadian side. So let me scroll over here. And when I go to this restaurant, oftentimes, and it's I guess it's my luck. I don't know. Maybe I look like a tourist. I probably don't. But a lot of it is a lot of the times they always seat me right next to the window, and so I get this great view. And I didn't even know Canada was 150 years old. But they had this Canada 150 here, and normally I don't think that's there. I think they put that there for the New Year's because it is the 150 anniversary of Canada. And so I had a chance to take a picture of that, and you could see all the. This looks like normally this looks like when the water falls into over the Horseshoe Falls, it looks like it's steam, but that's not steam. That's actually like crystallized flakes of water, and it's so light. It's so light that it's frothing up from the falls. It normally would be, you know, mist, but it's so cold it turned to, you know, flakes of ice. And it's just drifting. And when I walked around here, when I came right around here and I walked with my kids, it was raining ice. Like you could feel, it felt like rain as it hit you, but when you looked at it, it turned to ice. So it was literally a snow rain. So that's when it poured over you, but it mostly just hovers right there and falls somewhere else. But it's really nice. Really nice. I enjoyed it. And then you can see little parts, and if you see little reflections like here and here, because I'm in the restaurant, it was cold, you know. But you can see right here, that's the American side, and that's the casino. And then you can see let me see, this is one side of the fall. On the American side, that's one side. And over here is the other side. So on the US side, if you come over here, you could look at the Horseshoe Falls, and then there's another side here where there's the American Falls. They call it the American Falls. So there's part of the river comes here. This is actually an island in the middle of Niagara River that falls down in here. So if you haven't been there, I've never been there during the winter. So I just wanted to go there and have some fun. So Will Campbell, welcome to the live chat. So there you go. Hope you all enjoyed it. Let's zoom out so you can see the rest of it. There, the link is to this picture is in the notes section. And so go ahead and check it out. It's called Canada 150. This is the only picture I really took. And so if you have a chance to ever go up there, go to the restaurant called The Elements. And they have a nice window seat along this area right in front of the Horseshoe Falls. I go there every time I pass through Canada. I always stop by and I eat at this restaurant. It's become like a tradition now, you know. So, anyways, let's continue on here. All right, OCFX on chain FX. This is the bond trading view. Right. So this is the bond trading view. Dual overhead canvas. Yes, I was in Canada. Leisure picker. I'm surprised. You hiked the Grand Canyon? Well, I've been to the Grand Canyon too, and I don't know if I would hike down there. It's quite a, it's big. It's huge. You know, you see pictures of it, but when you actually go there and you look at it, it's tremendously huge. And you know, the years and years of erosion from the Colorado River. I mean, it just makes you think like the Earth has been here longer than you. That's for sure. The Earth is older than dirt. So, oh goodness. Anyways, here's my bond trading view. I'll go over it real quick. I'll do some of the chart analysis. Let's refresh it. Let's push F5 here. Let's go refresh it here. And let's see, is it refreshing? Yeah, it's refreshing now. Anyways, Hiroja, you don't believe I went to Canada? Well, I did, and you know, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. I had to. Well, first of all, I was in Buffalo, so I drove all the way to Buffalo and stayed a night in a hotel there, and then from there, I had to go into Canada. But I left I still had the hotel for an extra day because I didn't know for sure if I would be allowed into Canada, because the border agents, the custom agents, they can turn me away. You know, after all, I'm not a Canadian citizen, and I'm a guest. I don't have any rights to go into Canada. They could just turn me away. Well, the first time I went there, well, the first day I was there, I still had a hotel room in Buffalo, and I left all our stuff there because I'm just trying to go to. I had to go to the bank, a Canadian bank, and I wasn't sure if they were going to let me through or not, because when you're with your kids and you're not with your spouse, they won't. They're highly suspicious because they think you're gonna abduct your own kids. They think you're kidnapping your own kids, and so they asked me all these questions and everything, but they let me through. So I went through and got some Canadian money. I came back, and I made reservations to the Marriott in Canada, where the Blue Jays stadium. There's a Marriott right attached to the stadium, so it's right next to the CN Tower. And so I made reservations. I made reservations to the 360 restaurant. I did all that stuff. I woke up early in the morning the next day, went through the Niagara Falls customs, crossing the Rainbow Bridge, or the Gay Bridge, if you want to term it that way. So I went over the Rainbow Bridge, and the guy, they asked me like the same question every time. Did you have an issue with you know, when you came into Canada? And I have to tell them, like, yes, first time I came, I had my gun with me. And so every time I go, they want me to pull over to the side where they search my car, ask me a million questions. And so this guy's asking me like a million questions, right? Like how long are you going to stay? Where are you staying at? Blah, blah, blah. And I have a person that I trade Bitcoins up there with, right? And so I said, well, I might be meeting with this guy, and because you know, I let him know I'm in Canada. And then he's like, well, what's his name and number? And like I had to find out his name and number. The guy I don't even know. I think I have met him once, and I think I do know his name, but it was like, I don't remember people's name. Um, I don't have his number, and so I had to message him and call him to get his address and some weird stuff. Anyways, I was turned away at the border. I was literally turned away. I had to get my and I was searched. And like physically, my body was searched, and it was such a weird thing. Like, I answered his questions honestly. Like I don't know everybody I meet, right? I don't know everybody. Like I don't know, you know, everyone's phone number that I meet. I don't know their full name that I meet, right? So everyone I trade with, I don't know their full name or their phone numbers or where they live. And so, this guy came up with a list of stuff that he wanted me to have if I wanted to cross the border, and he put it into their computer system. So wherever I go, I needed that information, right? So he wanted a letter of authorization from my wife for me to go into Canada with my children. So I had to have that. He wanted my tax returns and proof of employment, which I told him, well, I'm self-employed. All right, so that's kind of ridiculous. You want proof of employment? I declare I employ myself, so there's my proof. And then what else? He wanted the name, phone number, and address of the person that I was going to meet, which I did not intend to meet this person. Right? I just we're messaging each other, and I just let him know I'm in Canada, and he wanted to meet, which ironically we didn't even meet because it was over the New Year's weekend. So I was busy, and so was he. So we didn't even meet after all that nonsense. And then what else did he want? Oh my gosh. And okay, and oh yeah, then he wants a reservation, which I already had. I already made reservations to the Marriott. But the thing is, I woke up early that day for the sole purpose of getting to the reservation on time at the 360 restaurant, because you have to have reservations. You just can't walk up to the CN Tower and say, "I'd like to eat here today." You can't do that. And so what really sucked was I knew I had to have a letter, but the last time I had a letter of authorization from my wife, they didn't even look at it. So anyways, we got turned away, ruined my whole day. By the time I went back, I couldn't make it to the bank because it was already 4 o'clock. We already missed our 2 o'clock appointment for the 360 restaurant. They wanted like a notarized, oh my God, they wanted a notarized letter of authorization, which it was a Saturday, and I don't have a fax or printer. So I had to take a picture, all right? I had to take a picture of my wife's letter. So she sent me a picture, then I had to take a picture with my smartphone. And so all that, it was weird. Anyways, I got him the minimal amount of information that they requested, and then they finally let me through. So it was a pain in the ass. It was. And sometimes they can be that way. So anyways, back to this here. Let me see what you're all saying here. Let's see here. Hiroja Shive says the only rainbow bridge is the one in Mario Kart. Fake news. Well, no, there's actually a bridge called Rainbow Bridge up in New York and Buffalo area. I don't know why they call it the Rainbow Bridge. There's another bridge. It's called the Freedom Bridge, also in Buffalo. Let me see. There's like 1, 2, 3. There's 3 bridges from the Buffalo area that go into Canada, I believe. So don't know why it's called Freedom Bridge. Absolutely no idea. Or why it's called Rainbow Bridge, but I must have been in Mario Land if that was the case. Pisces Traits 373 blockchain. Looks like you changed your name here a little bit. I wonder what happened to Bond. Thought the FBI had you. No, no, the Border Patrol agents had me. So they had me at the customs area, and then they turned me away. So dealing with the border, that's the hardest part, because I don't have a record, but I have things in associated to my name because when I first came to Canada, I declared my firearm, which is okay. If you declare your firearm, you're okay. They won't like arrest you. They'll just turn you away. And then depending on where you're crossing from. So at the time, I was crossing from Michigan, and so in Michigan, my license to carry is good in Michigan. So they just gave me back my gun. That's all they did when I went back to the U.S. Yeah, Richie Rich, it's very hard to cross invisible lines these days. Well, but apparently I'm a guest in their country, so I have no rights whatsoever. I have no rights, and that is true. When you enter into somebody else's country, or you enter in another country, you're a guest, and you can be denied entry when you get off a plane or when you cross the border or whatever, and you can be told to go back. And if you don't answer, and it's really at the discretions of the custom agent. Really, they maybe they just don't like it. I don't think they don't like you, but they can turn you away. They really can, because ironically, the other day, literally the other day, I went into Canada, came back from Canada back to the U.S., picked up my stuff. A day later, I went back into Canada and I was turned away. Only after a day I was in Canada, I was allowed in. And that was the crazy part. So I was a little pissed off about that. $21 million. Lady boys go to the bridge. Well, let me tell you, when I did go, finally got into Canada. Now, I'm sure you all know that prostitution is legal in Canada. So this is interesting. I saw, believe it or not, a lot of escorts. All right, and maybe I'm wrong, but when eventually I did get to the Marriott in downtown Toronto, and we went. I did check if there was an open reservation for the CN Tower, and I did get one at 7 p.m. So I was lucky. I couldn't make it to my 2 o'clock reservation, so I checked online and I called, and there was a 7 p.m. and we got there right around 7. We actually, I checked in and we just got into our room right, like at 6:50 p.m. And so I called and we were able to go into the CN Tower. But when I was there, I'm telling you, I saw a lot of escorts, and I could tell because it was a Saturday night. It was the day before New Year's. All right. The restaurant is very high end. It has a high price tag to it. Like I told you, my bill was 300 Canadian dollars. That included tip and tax and everything, but 300 Canadian dollars, which is about what, 220, about 220, 240 dollars in US dollars. And so, but I suspect there were a lot of escorts because it is literally like 5 degrees outside. And I see mostly women, but there was mostly women, and they were like dressed, very elegantly, but it was a dress. It was a elegant, very sexy, elegant dress, right? No pants. There's no pants. It was a dress, and they didn't wear any long sleeves. Some of them had a jacket. Some of them had a coat, but a lot of them walked around at night. I saw quite a few in just their dress with the men. Now, I know it's the holidays, and I know it's, you know, they could be on a date. That could be true. But when I was over in the CN Tower and I was, you know, at the restaurant, I could tell who was on a regular date, right? And I can tell you who was an escort for a guy. I could really tell you who just by the way the women were dressed, right? Like when you pay a lot of money, you kind of expect your date to be, you know, well, you know, playing the part. Because I saw one people who were on a regular date, and they were both dressed appropriately. Like they had winter clothes on, they had pants on, all that stuff. And then I saw the escorts, and they were dressed in very sexy, elegant dresses. And so it's pretty obvious, very, very obvious. But again, I think escorting is legal in Canada. Prostitution is legal in Canada. I can tell you that. Let me see here. All right. Love you, long time in Canada, Tomcat. Oh goodness. All right, so let's get back over here. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. All right, so let me go into the next thing. I'll go over this a little bit, but let me go into the next thing here. Okay, so here is a link to the Genesis block. And if you notice the time, it was January the 3rd. I don't know what actual time that is. I'm not sure, but this was the block that created Bitcoin. And so here you go. And this is 50 Bitcoins. Let me see if I can change it. It's worth this much money right now. It's amazing how much 50 Bitcoins are worth. Almost $1 million. When the price of Bitcoin was at 20,000, it was $1 million. Very close to $1 million. But here it is. Here's 50 Bitcoin, January 3rd, 2009. So let me ask everyone. It's been 9 years now. Okay, it's been 9 years since the creation of Bitcoin. Has anything changed? I mean, nothing has changed. Not much has changed. As you know, I've changed internally, but externally, the physical world that I know, that you know, that hasn't changed. We'll take a look at the transaction real quick, okay? Because there is something interesting about the transaction itself. If you go to the Coinbase part of the transaction, you'll see right here, it says the times 03 the 3rd January 2009. There's actually a message in the code Coinbase in the transaction itself. It says the times the 3rd January 2009. Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for the banks. And that was the message. And there's a lot of you know, theories on why that was put there. Obviously, everyone knows that Satoshi Nakamoto was the first person to mine Bitcoin. So this is obviously Satoshi Nakamoto mining Bitcoin, and this is the message that Satoshi Nakamoto put out. Now, there's a lot of conjecture in why this message, well, the message was to signify that it was done on this particular date. It was basically a way to time stamp But there could be a lot of deeper meanings in this message because, after all, during that time, there were a lot of financial uncertainty. People were very frightened, were scared. A lot of people were losing their homes. A lot of people were losing their jobs. A lot of people's savings were, diminished quite a bit. Stock markets were crashing. Governments all over the world had to take extraordinary measures to stabilize the economy and pretty much all of society. Like people were scared, and a lot of other things happened after that time frame too. There were many riots all over the world. None in the U.S., but there was a riot in the U.K. I think there was a riot in France. There are many riots for whatever reason, racially, socially, economically. But there's a little meaning into this, and so I'll go to my next thing here, which is takes you to the Bitcoin Wiki Genesis block, and I'll just go down here to the part where it talks about the Coinbase part, right here, this part right here. So the Coinbase parameter seen above in hex contains, along with the normal data, the following text: the times 03 January 2009 Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks. And I'll read a little bit into it. It says this was probably intended as proof that the block was created on or after January 3rd, 2009, as well as a comment on the instability caused by fractional reserve banking. Additionally, it suggested that Satoshi Nakamoto may have lived in the United Kingdom. This detail, second bailout for banks, could also suggest the fact a supposedly liberal and capitalist system rescuing banks like that was a problem for Satoshi. The chosen topic could have a meaning about Bitcoin's purpose. So, and here's the picture of the actual magazine here, the Times, or not the news, as you can see, the Times, and apparently eat out from £5. So, and let me see. Israel prepares to send tanks and troops into Gaza. That was the headline here, and for this picture. But you can see right here on the bottom, that's where it was. Here it says, Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks. So, is there a deeper meaning in it? I mean, there could be a deeper meaning. There could be a deeper meaning, but also, it could have been a way to timestamp the Genesis block, because after all, people timestamped and gave notification through the news, right? So this is a way to timestamp something. So that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this a little bit because it's been 9 years. Has anything changed? And it's been 9 years. I still have my house. I didn't lose my house. The world is still here. We're not in a post-apocalyptic situation. Matter of fact, it's been 9 years. Can we say that after 9 years, the central banks of the world did the right thing? They saved the world. Did they save the world? So it's been 9 years. What have we done? Or what has gone on in this space that's different since 9 years? And so far, what I've seen is I've seen this space become everything right? It's become everything what it was fighting against, in my opinion. Just my opinion, my humble opinion. This space has become everything that it's been fighting against. It's adopted a lot, if not most, of the old world system. You know, you're literally creating nothing out of thin air, and who's ever closest to buying it makes the most amount of money, and then selling it to the open market. And what are you selling? You're selling useless tokens that have no practical use. What else have we done? We've used cryptocurrency. We've used Bitcoin to promote pyramids, and we use Bitcoin to fund Ponzi's. So great, great. 9 years. 9 years. DD8209, you say 8 trillion debt turned into 19 trillion debt. I guess that's probably the one major difference. One major difference, but has anything other than that? I mean, that's what's going on in what I would call the incumbent system, the old world. But what's been happening with the new world, right? What's happening in this space? Any great progress? Any great any great leaps and bounds other than crypto kitties or Ripple? Is Ripple the answer? I heard Ripple's going to be the future of cryptocurrencies, and that Western Union is going to start using Ripple. So Western Union and Ripple is going to save us all now. So it's come to that. I see. So what I'm trying to say is it's been 9 years, and 9 years is almost a decade. Matter of fact, after this year, it'll be a decade. Has anybody done anything with this great technology? Has anybody made a big difference with this technology? It's made a difference in my life, but I think overall, it hasn't done anything in the grand scheme of things. It's been used in a way that I think promotes a lot of the incumbent system. These Ponzi's, these pyramid schemes, transferring money here and there for whatever purposes. In the sense of how much difference it's made, I would have to say that I do have to admit it's made a huge difference in my life, because although I didn't lose my job right away, eventually I did, and I have not worked. I have not been employed for six, maybe 6.5 years now, and it's quite different. It's quite different now for me. I'm never going to be going back to where I came from. I know that much for sure. I'm never going to be going back. To some degree, I guess Bitcoin has provided me a life in that sense. But overall, when I look at the whole scheme of things, when I look at the whole of what happened, especially with Roger Ver and this whole Bitcoin Cash splintering, and the whole space just splintering off into these different things, it became like a movement in the beginning where everybody was upset. Everybody's frowns was all of a sudden turned upside down, and everybody was smiling, because now everybody became rich. And when you become rich, why would you want to change something? You want it to be the way it is right now. And so my conclusion after 9 years, I would have to say, is that I don't think we want the world to change. I don't think we want the world to change at all, because the way the world is right now suits us just fine, and that's why everything is the way it is. You know, like, I was walking one time in Philadelphia, and I was asked this question: don't you want to feed and educate these poor children who don't have this opportunity to do that? Don't you want to donate some money to the cause? And I said no. And not because not that I didn't want every child to have an education and every child to be fed. I do. I do want every child to have an education and every child to be fed, right? The reason I said no was because without me or anybody donating any money to feed or educate a child, that can all be done right now. It can be done right now if we really wanted to do that. If we really wanted to do that. But I don't think we want to do that. And that's why you have uneducated children and starving children all over the world, because we like it. We like how things are right now, because for whatever reasons, either we're comfortable, we make money off the situation, we make money off the misery of others, or we make money off of scarcity, I guess is a better way of saying it, to provide that need. I'm just giving an example of educating children and feeding children, but at the same time, I could kind of somewhat similarly say that same thing about the way the space is now. We like it the way it is. Matter of fact, we would like it if there was maybe more of these coins to make me or other people mentally rich. I don't know how they're physically going to get rich off of Ripple and Tron and IOTA and all these other things. Anyways, that's what I think is happening, in my opinion. And I think the more time goes by and nothing happens, right? Nothing happens, the more this space will become just very, very similar to the incumbent system. And the incumbent system will adopt, and you could already see it in Ripple, and you could already see it in some other things, where some of the banks are co-opting this technology, like through Ethereum, Ripple, Stellar, and essentially you're going to have the same thing. And my conclusion on that is because I think we want that. We want that, but only on the terms that I think we can all agree on, which is some sort of quote unquote cryptography and blockchain and anyways, I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, it is the new year. Let me just get everything off my mind. I've had some time away to think about these things and to come to some realization that maybe things are the way it is because we want them to be that way, and therefore it is that way. And everything that the central banks did, well, they did the right thing, and they saved the world, most likely, because The world has not ended. I'm still here. I'm in the same house that I was before and after the financial crisis, before and after Bitcoin. Things look pretty good. When I go out and I went to when I went on my winter vacation, people apparently had money to celebrate and go out and get drunk and throw up on themselves. And you know, so I guess things aren't all that bad. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure. But it doesn't seem like it's all that bad because you're all still here. I'm still here. And we all seem to be, I think, doing just about the same as we were from last year or even from 9 years ago. Maybe some better, a little bit worse, maybe. But from what I can tell, nothing seems to have changed. So anyways, let's go on here. Okay, so Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Let's see what everyone is saying in the chat now. Is this thing frozen? I'm going to have to refresh. All right, let me look on my smartphone. Let's see what everyone is saying. Richard Rich, you say the people learning about Bitcoin now in 2017 will only understand its purpose 5+ years later. Let me see, where are you saying that? Right here. Yeah, I guess it does take time. I mean, but if you think about technology, like it should happen more. You would think it happened more rapidly, and I do admit that there is resistance in this space. There is resistance against cryptography. There is resistance against cryptocurrencies. Big resistance against Bitcoin, because I believe Nationwide won't even let Nationwide Bank won't even allow deposits into Coinbase. Also, another thing, Visa shut down Wavecrest. Wavecrest allows BitPay, all these debit cards with your Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which is also the reason why I think one of the reasons the price has gone down, because excuse me. Oh, excuse me for that. If you can't use your coins, then guess what? You're going to have to find a way to dump them. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why we've seen the price of Bitcoin go down. And another thing, I'm going to let everyone know, during my vacation, matter of fact, just before, I would say, just before the New Year's, a couple days before the New Year's, actually, I was contacted by someone that I haven't talked to in a very long time. And all of a sudden, they wanted to sell Bitcoins. Like I haven't bought Bitcoins from this person for like almost a year now. And out of nowhere, tries to contact me through several different methods, you know, messaging app, my phone, a text, wanting to sell Bitcoins to me. Not only that, but has a lot of Bitcoins to sell, or knows a lot of people who want to sell me Bitcoins, and they're looking for buyers. So you're looking for what? So that tells me something right away. And this is surprisingly, this is before the price was starting to go down. And this is like at $1,200, $12,000. So when I left, it was around 14, 15,000, and then this came about, and then all of a sudden it dipped down to 12,000. It went back up to 17, only to come back down. Now I'll check out what the price is, but you know, I think you're in a situation where there's a lot of people that have coins in general, a lot of people that have coins, but the exits are closing. Okay, and you see that because you're seeing Poloniex, you're seeing Bittrex, you're seeing Binance, you're seeing some exchanges limit new signups. Okay, so when you got that, tells me right away that the exits are closing, or for a person who has coins, who's hodling, you're not going to be able to preserve your dollar value. All right, and then people like me, I usually do buy coins, but here's the problem: the price of Bitcoin has gone up so much, I don't need to buy any more coins. All right, I mean, I literally don't. The value of those Bitcoins that I have, uh, they're very high. They've made anybody who's holding Bitcoin since January, you're all very, very rich for 1 year. For at least 1 year, you are very rich. Now, I doubt any of us are going to be buying at this point in time, because the only time I'm really going to be buying is when I start seeing sub 10K. That's when I'm going to start buying some. And when I see sub 5,000, that's when I really start ramping up my purchasing. When I see 2,000, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go all in. And if it's really below 2,000, well, I'm putting a mortgage on the house and then dumping all my money into Bitcoin. Now, if you've seen the current situation is people are mortgaging their house now when the price was at $18,000 to buy Bitcoin. So this isn't good, in my opinion. So I think, despite the fact I'll do a chart analysis, I'll do a chart analysis, I'll take a look, but the sentiment I'm getting, right, which you're not going to hear on the news, or you're not going to get it in the news feed, you're not going to get it over YouTube, anybody talking, doing a chart analysis. The sentiment I'm getting on the street is people are looking for exits. But the problem is those exits are closing. Exchanges are closing their exits. Your credit card, your Coinbase, people, first mistake I ever made was thinking that Coinbase was a good exit for me. When I opened my account with Coinbase, I thought, oh, I could just dump $50,000 on the Coinbase and I'll be safe, right? Well, Coinbase closed my account. I was verified up to like $50,000 worth of Bitcoin that I could sell on Coinbase. Well, that's gone. And even if even if you have an account right now with Coinbase and you think you can just dump 50,000, they can reject your trade. Okay, and then on top of that, your bank can also reject that as well. So those Bitcoins are going to be bounced right back to you. And if you have an account with GDAX, Gemini, and all that, once the panic selling gets going, you know, it's going to be crazy. That's if there's a panic selling. I don't want to scare anybody, but the word on the street that I'm getting is everyone's looking for an exit. So with all the exits closing off, and you know, there's no reason for me to buy because the value of Bitcoin's so high, I wouldn't really buy at this time. I wouldn't. I'm waiting for sub 10K to start buying, sub 5K to really put more money into it, and sub 2K to go all in. So I give you a heads up here, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the price will skyrocket to the moon after I say this. You never know. So, all right. So let's see here. Julie G, you want to grow up to be like James? Thank you very much. Let me see here. Let's see what else are you all saying here. Let me see. Pisces Traits 373 blockchain. Your neighbor worked for a corporation office in Texas. She said they were having meetings on cryptocurrencies. Interesting. They're probably having a meeting to see if they can sell their cryptocurrencies, maybe. Let me see here. DD8209, you say saved the world with money that does not exist. Well, you know, what I was really hoping for was people realize that money really does not exist. Money truly does not exist, and that it is nothing more than a belief that you always had within you, and the value of everything comes from inside you, which people physically turn into paper money. Eventually, my ideal situation was people realize that there is no use or there is no purpose of money. If you want to just do something, you just go out and do it. Can it be used as a medium of exchange? I guess, if that's its goal, if its purpose. But in the end, I mean, people don't. You know, the problem is people don't use money as a medium exchange. They're trying to use it as a somewhat like the store of value, and I think Bitcoin, to some degree, that's you're seeing a ramp up in its price, and that's the pitch now. Before it was, you know, transactions. Now it's store of value. That's the biggest focus. That's the biggest shift that I've seen over time from 2013 to 2017 and up to 18 now. Is when I got in, it was a way to transact, right? You know, censorship resistance. You won't be censored in your transaction. You can just do things, and you could send it here, and it would take what 10 minutes, and it costs nothing, next to nothing. From 2013 to now it's a store of value. So we're now in this phase where the expectation is that this Bitcoin price or cryptocurrencies will go up in price as long as you hold on to it. And so we're seeing we're definitely seeing a shift in what Bitcoin is. I don't know what it's going to be after this point. You know, it's become a store of value. I guess at some point it will become currency. You know, we'll get to use this currency. We'll finally all our hard work and effort and our faith and our belief in this system will be rewarded in the fact that we can all buy Lambos and extravagant houses and yachts, and we'll live in hotels every day and make a video about it or some nonsense like that. Let me see. Plex ASM. The thing that scares me now is that a lot of dumb people are starting to get in. I find it unlikely people this dumb are all going to make money. Yes, I think you're right. I think you're right. You know, after all, it's the many don't get paid, right? The many, right? They don't make the money in this game. It's the few that make the money, and it's the many that lose money. So that's how the game works. So unfortunately, we just created the same system which we all left. It's kind of, I don't know if it's unfortunate. Maybe it's just a lesson or an evolution. I'm not too sure at this point. The only way for me to find out is to keep going with it and to finally see what the results are. Is Bitcoin a way to go beyond the incumbent system. So Bitcoin has to go through all these phases, which look very similar like the old world, and how it progresses, and it hits that point where it matches what the incumbent system is, and then from there takes you further than that, because obviously it's not like the incumbent system at all. Um, with its, although I think there's a lot of limitations. I know there's Lightning networks coming up and all that, but even Lightning network has its issues. I don't think its Lightning network is going to be ready for I'll be honest with you, it could be 5 years. It really could, maybe even longer, because you have to start you have to start it again. You have to start the whole network effect again. You have to get people to adopt the nodes and get onto all this stuff, and then you have to have channels and all this. So if you think about how long it took Bitcoin to get here, which was 9 years, and we're still not like at a mainstream adoption, we could be maybe even at the beginning phases, possibly. Think about how long Lightning will take, the Lightning network. So now, if we make some assumptions that it would double, let's just assume it would double, or it's somewhat exponential. So, because everyone has Bitcoin right now, and we all know about cryptocurrencies, or more people know about it, if Lightning network rolled out, which it already has, it would still take at least 2 years, I think, just to get it going. And then from there, every year after then that network, the Lightning network, would probably double or triple and exponentially in size. But it would still take, in my opinion, at least 2 years just to get it going. Right now, I mean, there's a lot of test nets, but there's nothing happening yet. And if there is something happening, no one's using it. You're looking at the beginning of a network here. So anyways, hello, boss lady, good to see you. Let me see, what do you say? DD8209 says, interesting read, weathering the altcoin storm, and I'm sorry, you're just moving too fast, and investing in the next one. Duck duck go it. Okay. Let me see here. What else are you all saying here? Well, welcome to the channel. It's me, boss lady. So, all right. So let's go on and let's do chart analysis here. Let's see, which one am I going to do here? Let's just take this one, and let's first look at the mempool. All right, so I'm just looking at the mempool in a 24-hour period, and it looks like it's riding, or it's gone down quite a bit. So the fees from 100 to right here, this gray area, 100 satoshis per byte. So it's eating into that area. So total, what's the total? 120 transactions in the mempool right now. Not too bad. Although if you look up here on the closer areas, 140. Let me see here. Let's see how many transactions there are. So right now, 100 Satoshi per byte has over 41,000 transactions. Let's see if we can look up here, and then 140 Satoshis per byte has 13,000 transactions. 200 Satoshis per byte has 10,000. 300 Satoshis per byte, 8,000. 500 Satoshis per byte has about almost 4,000. That's actually where you probably want to be if you want to be in the next block, is about 5,000 Satoshis, because of how many transactions there are in the mempool. You could probably still be in a 300. I don't know what's going on. It looks like a lot of people are just moving their tokens around. Interesting. Let's have a look at trade block here real quick. Hey, hello, Brad Taylor. Welcome back to the live chat. And Pisces traits 373 blockchain. You say security, privacy coins will come out on top if government cracks down. Well, you know, that's the other thing is there does seem to be a fear that government regulation seems to be closing in as well, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why people are starting to sell off. If you ask me, those, when it comes to exchanges and merchant processing, when it comes to things like that, and any third party accounts, exchanges, Coinbase, BitPay, you know, those companies, yeah, you're going to get regulations in those spaces for sure. How much regulation is going to come in the peer-to-peer market? I think that's still open. That's still available as unregulated market. So, as far as Bitcoin in that regard, I think there's no difference. Although during the holidays, I did read the complaint against a Bitcoiner, I think out of Arizona. And you know, if you have anybody that comes to you and says, "Hey, the money I give you comes from the proceeds of drugs," you have to like highly suspect that it's most likely an undercover officer who is trying to look for a conviction. Regular people don't do that. People who want to buy Bitcoin don't go to you and say, "Hey, I'm giving you money that I profited from selling drugs," or, you know, people don't come to you and say, "Hey, you know, I'm a terrorist. Here's my money. Could you give me Bitcoin?" And you know, when you see those kind of attacks on just regular people like Bitcoin traders, uh, that could be another deterrent as well, especially in the peer-to-peer market. All right, so I'm looking at the block trade here, and it looks like Bitcoin's at $15,000. It has gone up, but it's been down for the most part. Let's see here. The mempool looks like at 25,000 transactions, according to TradeBlock, which is quite a bit. Let's have a look at the fees here. You'll see them 500 Satoshis, 500 Satoshis, 1,000, 1,200, 300 Satoshis. So your fees are really high right now for whatever reason. So it looks like the high fees will continue. Sometimes you get a small one. You get like a little you know, like a 20, a 30 Satoshi, 100 Satoshi every now and then. But look at the fees that are being processed right now. 350, 500, 500. So with things like this, you kind of see that the market can't, I wouldn't say the market can't bear high fees, because it will until it can't. And for someone like me, I eventually just pass that cost on, and it eventually goes to an end user. And so, but for these end users, you know, there's not much of a choice for them in that regard. the transaction is more important than the fee. So they will pay the fee. That's for sure, because that's what's been going on. For whatever reason, people that are buying Bitcoins, it's important that they get the Bitcoin. It's more important that they get the Bitcoin in than it is then, and it's less important on what the fee is to get the Bitcoin, the transaction fee. So you got to remember, I trade peer-to-peer in the open market, and so there's a premium. There's a premium on top of the fee. So it only, what ends up happening is the transactions has to get, typically it will have to probably get higher, most likely. Let me see. Let's have a look at Joho's mempool statistics here real quick. Because I want to take a look at all. I want to take a look at all, and I want to see what it looks like. Okay, so this is all, I guess, as all as it goes. It goes from January 2017 to January 18th. And so if you look at this, we are in a tremendous spike here. The only other time was around in May, beginning of May, all the way to June. There was a huge spike, but that was only, let's see here, how high the fees went was around 300 satoshis, and you compared it to now, you're looking at over 1,000 satoshis per byte. That's quite a difference. That is a tremendous amount of difference here. So, anyways, let's take a look. Before I do a chart analysis, let's take a look at some of these, and I'm going to do something a little different. Instead of I usually click on day cents, like day cents all-time highs. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to do down from percentage from all-time highs, and we'll see what kind of list I come up with. And so this is what I'm going to do now. Instead of, I'm going to do percentage down from all-time highs, and we'll go over some of these. We'll go over some of these. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. All right, so let's take a look at the overall market right now. And of course, looks like everything's down. Even Ethereum's down right now, although Ethereum's over 1,000. Ripple's definitely down. But who cares about Ripple? I don't. I don't see the value in Ripple at all. Okay, let's change it to Bitcoin. Let's see how everything fares to Bitcoin. So it looks like some are up, some are down. So it's a little bit of wash. Bitcoin's down too. Let's see how things compare to Ethereum. Looks like Ethereum has earned their right to be compared to against. And everything's down against Ethereum. Everything's down against Ethereum. Look at that. So if you have an Ethereum, it's a great time to divest into some of these other coins. Let's have a look. All right. So anyways, that was fun. All right. So let's take a look here. NEO, NEO. we'll take a look at NEO here. See what NEO's been up to. All right, compared to Bitcoin recently, it has made more Bitcoin, but has not made an all-time high against Bitcoin, because the all-time high is right about here, which is 0.01. So we'll see how long this is going to last. I really suspect that from what I'm hearing on the streets, like people are looking to exit out of their Bitcoin position. I mean, they're looking to cash out. So if they're looking to cash out on their Bitcoins and they're coming to me after I haven't heard from them, I haven't like literally heard from them for like over a year now, just about a year. And so, you know, that tells me that people are looking to exit. And if they haven't exited on the exchange, like some of these people may have exchange accounts, but they can't get any money out of these exchanges because they probably have tethers. All right, or they're probably on an exchange that, you know, you can't get large amounts, not fast enough, or maybe not at all. All right, but Phoenix is like that. Poloniex is pretty much like that. Bittrex is like that. You can't get cash out of these exchanges. The only way you can actually cash out right now is, and the quickest and easiest way, in my opinion, is through peer-to-peer trade. You have to find someone who's willing to buy those coins. And here's the part is, if you've been in this game long enough and you had coins, too many coins. The value of these coins have gone so much. Like right now, if you sold something, if you sold $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, that's like what, 0.6 Bitcoin? If you have 10 of them and you're only going to sell 0.6 for 10,000, I mean, it's going to take you a while to liquidate your Bitcoins. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, NEO. Here's the scary part. NEO in US dollar value is an all-time high. Compared to Bitcoin, they're not at an all-time high. They're what I would call a dead cat bounce. If you just take a look at it, you can see that it's been trending downwards, and then it's just a dead cat bounce. I think as soon as Bitcoin starts dropping in price, NEO will also start dropping in price, because you can't cash out a NEO either. No one's able, everyone's rich in their mind and on the computer, but have you been able to use NEO to buy food at the grocery store? I don't think anybody has. Let me see, gas. Gas is another NEO. Gas is like the farts that come from NEO. Let's see how well it's doing. It's at 56 US dollars. Let's have a look at the chart, see if it's made any Bitcoin gain. All right, so when I look at this chart, gas is at an all-time high in US dollars. But if you look at it and compare it to Bitcoin, you're not doing so well. And you probably most likely, as soon as, if my indications, like the sentiment I'm hearing from the streets, when I say the streets, I'm not talking about like, you know, gangster streets or anything, just people who I trade with, you know, this is what I'm hearing from them. There is some demand. I mean, people do buy Bitcoins, all right? People do buy Bitcoins, but you know, I have a feeling there's a lot more people who are looking to sell their Bitcoins than to buy Bitcoins at this point in time. Let me see here. Let me see, FUD Machine. FUD Machine, you want me to look up Flashcoin? FUD Machine gave me let me know heads up that Flashcoin was was pumping hard. He wanted me to trade some in, probably for more Bitcoin, obviously. Let's see here. Let's see if Flashcoin is up here. Let me see here. I haven't taken. I do own Flashcoin. I own Flashcoin through an airdrop. It's gone down a little bit. Last time I did check, it was like 22 cents. But yeah, it's gone. It's up. I remember when it was just 3 cents, and wow, look at that. That's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. And I think Brian has like 7,000 Flashcoins. I think I have like 5,000. And yeah, it's amazing. It's compared to Bitcoin, I can get more Bitcoin now. Let me see. How much is this? 1, 2. It's 12,000 Satoshis. Not bad. So this has become worth nothing to 12,000 Satoshis. So yeah, 12, Flashcoin has gone up. Let me see where it's traded. Unfortunately, I think it's traded in Cryptopia or Craptopia. Matter of fact, 100% of it is traded on Craptopia, and you know, I as much as I would like to sell my Flashcoin on Craptopia, if I got this coin for free or someone gave me a coin, I won't sell it. You know, as much as tempting as it is, I think what is it like? I think I'll have $1,000 worth of Flashcoin. So it's almost at 20 cents. I got 5,000, so it's $1,000 worth of Flashcoin. That'll get me like 0.0001 Bitcoin. You know, it's tempting to get more Bitcoin. It always is, but for me, I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't sell it because I got it for free. And so I think if you well, sorry, Brian, if I called out your numbers, but we already made a video about how much Flashcoin you got, so it's nothing that's not a secret anymore. But anyways, I wouldn't do it because, you know, I think just like anything, you know, if you own any altcoins, they will go up in price. Just like most likely if you own stocks, they will also go up in price. If you own anything, eventually they will all go up in price because of inflation. And so it doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't really matter because I got it for free. If it is worth what it is, I would have to like try to sign up for Cryptopia. I did sign up for Cryptopia, but someone tried to hack my Cryptopia account, which I didn't even use. I just signed up because I was talking to Yellow Fever for You. He wanted to show me something, and so I signed up for it, and he was showing me all these coins. So that's all I did. I don't trade on exchanges anymore because of the risk involved. Like, first of all, you don't own the coins. Second, is there is risk in providing your information. Oh, Brian, you don't have any Flash coins anymore? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Brian. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, in that case, well, anyways, I'm sure you gotten Bitcoin out of it. I'm sure you traded it for Bitcoin, and that way, you know, you probably made out better on the Bitcoin side anyway. Okay, you got Litecoin. Okay. Well, sorry, I already read it out loud, but anyways, it's good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, Brian. I held on to it. It's, you're only getting so much. It may not be worth my effort to trade, and I don't trade. I don't trade on these exchanges anymore. I used to when I first started in this crypto space. I would trade. I would probably sign up right away, load up my Flash coins, trade my Bitcoins, and then uh, I probably would have just left them on Cryptopia, thinking, okay, what's the next coin? I'll try to buy another Flash coin, or I'll buy another like low value token, um, and wait for that to pump and do that. But I don't anymore. When I get altcoins, or when I get donations in altcoins, uh, uh, I I it's like a gift. So if someone sends me a gift, I accept their gift, and I don't trade it in. If I was gonna, if I do anything, I'll just buy my Bitcoins, and that's how I do things. Let's see what you're all saying here now. Okay, talking amongst each other. All right, so that's that. Let's go back to this here. ARK. Remember, all these coins pretty much have made an all-time high, but they have not made an all-time high in Bitcoin. So it amazes me that a lot of people would buy into this instead of Bitcoin, and maybe they'll all trend upwards, right? But the time that this is, and this is probably what's going to happen, which has been happening. All these altcoins will go up in value. They'll make all-time US dollar highs. Eventually, they'll make an all-time Bitcoin high, and then after that, Bitcoin will just make an all-time high as well, and they will outperform all the altcoins. And what ends up happening is altcoins become nothing more than um, a way to suck up money from all the new people, or from the dumb people, or from the stupid people eventually, and the money will all be sucked right into Bitcoin. Because if you really want to get in and out of your coins, as far as usable money, because no one's can you buy food with ARK? You probably can't. So you probably need to exit out through Ethereum, exit out through Litecoin, exit out through Bitcoin. So, you know, and if you want to exit out, you probably, the thing about Ethereum is heavily centralized, and heavily linked to other centralized systems like exchanges and Coinbase. And so you have to go through them to get your money. Bitcoin is completely different. You can still use those centralized exchanges, Coinbase, GDAX, whatever, Binance. Well, not Binance, but all the other exchanges that will actually cash you out. Or you could take your Bitcoin and you can cash it out yourself over the counter. There's still a market for that. It's just that right now, I have a feeling there's more people that have Bitcoins that want to sell them, and I think that may be a reason for the price decline. Decred's another one. Let's take a Decred. Decred. So as I'm looking at Decred, it's the same story. It's Decred is literally making all-time highs. literally making all-time highs. But if you look at this and you compare it to Bitcoin, same story. And it's probably going to happen again, where eventually it may make an all-time high against Bitcoin, because I have a feeling that there's a lagging there's a lag. I'm not sure if it's a lag or if it's being if it's a early indicator. I don't know if altcoins are indicators of price of Bitcoin going up or going down, but from what I can tell, that eventually what happens is Bitcoin does outperform these altcoins. They just outperform them. There's no doubt in it. And I mean, you could take a look at any charts. None of these altcoins outperform Bitcoins. I haven't seen one yet. At some point they did, but then what happens is Bitcoin comes back like crazy. It'll go from 2,000 to 20,000, right out of nowhere. And what I love about Bitcoin is that you can scale your profits. It's possible to scale your profits. It really is. When the market's really hot and there's a lot of people who are willing to buy over the counter, you can scale your profits. Okay, you could turn your 1 million into 10 million, but you can't turn your 1 million into 10 million without crashing the price. And that was very evident when Ethereum, right, when someone on GDAX crashed the price of Ethereum to 10 cents. All right, so what's after this? ETH. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Let's see if Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. I like to actually see this. This is going to be very interesting. Nope, still not outperforming Bitcoin. Still not outperforming Bitcoin. I actually have a little theory now that I've been looking at these charts for a while. I think when these altcoins actually start making a higher high on Bitcoin value, that's probably when you want to start buying Bitcoin. Like when they start literally making higher highs, you probably want to start either average costing and buying into Bitcoin, because as soon as the altcoin Kool-Aid train runs out of Kool-Aid, all that money is going to go right back into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will probably do the same thing, go from whatever its value is to 10 times that amount. And here's the beauty of it. With Bitcoin, you can scale your profits. All right, you can literally scale your profits. It's possible. You can. All right, let's take a look at what's another one? Ethereum 0x XZRX. 0x. All right. Wow. Well, 0x is actually making an all-time high in Bitcoin. So with this, I would be careful, because it may have legs, because I've seen it in altcoins before. It may have legs, and as long as there's enough hype, there's enough perpetual motion machines being pitched. I don't even know what 0x does. So, but once it starts peaking out, you should probably exit, because it will come back down eventually. It's broken to an all-time high in Bitcoin value, looks like. you're probably in a very dangerous territory here. Too long, you'll end up with nothing, because eventually people aren't using 0x to buy groceries, right? They're trying to make money. They're speculating. And so this, all these altcoins, it's for trading. That's all these are for. They're not for anything else. Verge. We'll take a look at Verge real quick. I won't go through all of them. I mean, you could probably go through these yourselves. So let's have a look at Verge. Wow. Well, Verge is definitely making all-time highs in Bitcoin. Uh, so these may be early indications, because what you're seeing is not only more coins coming onto the coin market cap, and that's why you're seeing the Bitcoin dominance go down. But if this is a repeat of essentially what happened last year, if altcoins are going up and Bitcoin starts going down or stagnating at a certain price, uh, it could be a really good time to average cost your way into Bitcoin, and or dump some of these altcoins as they're going up. Like, and then, how can I say? There's average cost buying, and there's average cost selling. So average cost dump your way with these altcoins, and try to get some Bitcoin. Don't get left behind. If you made money, that's great. You're compounding off of compounding. But at the end of the day, you can't buy your groceries with Verge coins. I can tell you that right now. But you can buy groceries with your Bitcoin. All right. There's places that accept Bitcoin. There's places that accept, um, gift cards. There's people who will buy Bitcoin over Verge coins. Um, and liquidity market's way different. So, uh, you know, but looking at altcoins to get an idea of what to expect from Bitcoin, I think there's something there. There is a relationship there. I mean, all these coins are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. You just have to let the new people, all the noobs, all the people who are speculators, and you got to keep in mind that 90, I would even say higher, 99% of speculators are losers. They lose money. All right, they really do. If if everyone made money, then we would all be rich. Everybody would have no job and be doing trading all the time. You would all like have Lambos. You would all be self-employed. You wouldn't be working. You can do stupid videos like this and talk about your coin of choice, and you could pump it. But that's not the case. Okay, there's not that many people who are making money trading. I don't think so. Not in this way. Not on a virtual currency exchange. And if you want to make money, you trade in real life, and you charge a premium. Oh, Verge was Doge dark. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Richard Rich, for letting me know. So Doge was Doge dark. Oh wow. It was rebranded as Verge. Well, I guess rebranding is also, you know, rebranding is another thing. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's also a psychological um, thing where if you people like to buy something that's new instead of something that's been out in the market and not doing anything under an old name. Like a great example of that was, Pivx used to be called Darknet Coin. What else? Darkcoin used to be Darkcoin rebranded to Dash, and you're seeing some of these other altcoins rebrand themselves and call themselves something else. So, anyways, uh, if you got Verge, good for you. Uh, Again, you can't do anything with Verge. You might as well just go ahead and eventually you're just going to trade it in for either Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum. You're looking for the coins that are easy or easier to cash out. Let's see if I'll do one more here. Oh, no. Sorry. Going through everything here. Library credits, Gollum. I don't feel like going through all of these. Anyways, there's the list here. I've just switched it here from all time down from all time percentage, and that should give you a good idea. You can use this to like buy into these altcoins. Like some people do that. Don't know why. Don't know why. Anyways, let's finally go to a Bitcoin chart analysis. All right, so here's the here's the chart on 12 hour. Let's go to 1 hour real quick and let's see what's happening here. And so, all right, let's take a look here. Man, this thing's ugly. This thing's super ugly. On the 1 hour, just on the 1 hour, this is probably what you're going to see here. It's following a trend. What it's really doing on the 1 hour, it's what really worries me when I watch the price of Bitcoin. The moving averages are acting as resistance. Once this thing crossed over, it's the moving average here is acting as a resistance. And when I see that, that's not good. You don't want a 1 hour time frame moving averages to be acting as resistance. That's not very good at all. Now let me jump over to the 12 hour real quick. So 12 hour. And that's my new trend line right here. Here at almost 20,000. The here is going to be the new trend line. There was a nice little possible breakout, like right here, but obviously I was very hopeful that this breakout would lead to a higher high, but you're looking at this is the high, this is the all-time high, and now this is the potential lower high. So there is concern that this is a lower high. We're going to have to see here because on the 12 hour, you can see the price is below both the long-term average and the short-term average right here. So both of these prices are, the current spot price is below the two averages, which is not good. And like I said, what I've noticed was if the sentiment is correct, and a lot of people are trying to exit their position in Bitcoin over the counter, and the problem is, like I said, I still have Bitcoin, and they're worth a lot of money. And for me to liquidate my Bitcoins would take time. So at this point in time, I wouldn't be taking on the risk of getting more Bitcoins at this time. Unless I had a very large trade where I needed to get more Bitcoins. But at this point in time, it's very risky. Very risky. See what you're all saying here. I might have to push refresh on this one. So at this point in time, it's kind of risky. Let me go on the 1 day. Let's have a look at the 1 day. I guess you can say there might be a wedge being formed or a triangle being formed. That's a little too much. I think I was, let me see, on the 12-hour. Saw one a little bit before on the 1 hour here. Let me see here. Okay, go back to the 1 hour real quick. I take the two lowest spot here, and then go from 12-hour. Nope, that's it. Okay. Was there another one? I think there was another one, right? Yeah, right here. I'm just going to put this as a trend line. Okay, I'm just going to pick this as a trend line. So there's my support line here. So I'm just picking the last two lower lows. I'm picking the last two lower lows here. So let me see here. A little higher. Right. Right. So on the 1 day, it's really it's bouncing. It's bouncing quite a bit in between the two. Right now, it's stuck between the two average lines right here, as you can see. And it really, the price needs to break above this all-time high, and now it needs to break this high as well. So the price really needs to break an all-time high to continue to go up. If it doesn't, then this becomes a lower low. I'm sorry, a lower high. This becomes a lower high, and if that becomes a lower high, then you probably want to expect a lower low of this right here. And if that's true, that's very close to being in the, let me see here. Let me see what the low of this is. The low of that was 11,160. So that you're getting in the below $10,000. And so below that, it's going to start probably going down. I'm just being a little cautious here, but take it as a buying opportunity. And if the altcoins do continue to surge, and I just don't know the value proposition of an altcoin, but if it does, then that's could be an opportunity for, if you do trade altcoins, it could be an opportunity for you to get more Bitcoin. Since I don't trade any altcoins, I'm just waiting for a lower price on Bitcoin. and depending on, if there's anybody who's still willing to sell at those lower prices. Um, but even at $10,000, I mean, that's still a lot of money in US dollar terms that I could still trade off. Um, the price would literally have to go below $1,000 uh, for me to take a loss, because most of it is, I got most of my coins at the beginning of the year or beginning of last year. So it still has a long way to go down. So let's take a look at the 3-day. So let me give you a different price. So this low is at what, 11,160 right here. Where is this line at? This line's at the high. It's a high of $17,235 right here. And of course, this is the all-time high. I'm on Bitstamp, 19,666. So let's have a look here. All right, so on the 3-day, it's kind of getting scary. It is kind of getting scary because the spot price is below slightly. The averages are starting to become resistances, especially the short term on the 3-day. You can see that it's becoming a resistance. Whether this is going to be support or not, I don't know. But if you look at this line right here that I made, it's coming close to the moving average is around that line. So there could be support, and I say there could be, or it could just fall right through. We're kind of in a dangerous time right here, because if it doesn't make higher highs, then it can only go sideways for so long before people really start losing confidence. And like I said, people have been contacting me looking to sell. So the sentiment on the street value of Bitcoin is that people are looking to sell. And eventually, if you think your altcoin is safe, if Bitcoin sells, your altcoin is going to definitely sell. Now on the 1 week, let me remove some of this stuff here. On the 1 week, the spot price is still higher, right, than the moving average. Matter of fact, this actually bounced off the moving average here, as you can see. And so technically, it's still in consolidation on a weekly. The problem with the week is that it takes so long to get a confirmation that it's going in a downtrend. By the time you do get a confirmation that it's a downtrend, the price has gone down so much that if you bought in in the last 3 months, you're probably going to take a loss. That's the problem with a weekly chart or even a monthly chart. By the time you get a confirmation that the price is going down, it's too late. These are not leading indicators. These are all lagging indicators. There's no chart. There's no indicator. There's no counting candlesticks that will tell you in advance what the price will be. You're just guessing. If at best you are doing a best estimation of what the price will be, that's all you're doing. Um, so, but right now on a weekly, the price is higher than the spot price, and the uptrend is still intact, but it looks like it's weakening. It looks like it's weakening. So it's cautious. You have to be very cautious. Now, I could be wrong, and the price can just make another all-time high, but the fact that the price made an all-time high is the signal that it's still in a bull market. The price needs to go and make an all-time high. That's all I have to say. If it doesn't make an all-time high and continues to go sideways, that's a very weak sign. Anyways, that's it for that. Let's have a look at the live chat and see what everyone's saying. So Fun Machine, where is the 21K? Okay, fair enough. 21K. Let's see here. I'm not sure I can do that. Let's see here. I don't know if it can go to 21K, but I will do an estimate on it. Excuse me. Okay, let's have a look at when this 21K is going to break. You know, it's there may be a chance that it may never happen. Excuse me. Okay. Now let's take a look at the date and time frame of this. It's still at February 18th on a Sunday, late night Sunday as well. That's the time frame you're looking at from now until February 18th. That's the time frame. So if there is going to be a break, hopefully it's going to be really, 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 really soon. Let me see here. I'm trying to get to this time frame right here. Okay, so sometime I'm looking at this time frame right here, January the 28th. So you got this point where it's gonna squeeze either up or down. It's gonna be squeezed up or down, and we have until January 28th, and that's the time frame. So you're in a triangle right now. You're in this triangle right here, of breaking up or down. All right. As far as this timeline right here, if it does break up, there's a time of this February the 18th on Sunday, February the 18th on Sunday, to make an all-time high of going up to 21,000. It may not. It may not. If the sentiment right now that I'm hearing is that people are looking to sell over the counter on their Bitcoins, then obviously the sentiment is changing. And it's been 1 year. It's been 1 year since this bull market has started. That's a long time. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I'm gonna end this live chat. Sorry if I bored anybody, but that's it. That's it for me. Let's close that out. Anyways, Happy New Year, everyone. Sorry if I'm taking too long, but I'll try to get back into the groove and start doing things. Anyways, thank you for everybody in the live chat here. Let's thank everybody here. Leisure Picker, Hiroja, I'm surprised you're still here. Dual Overhead Camness, Pisces Trait 373, Fun Machine, Richie Rich, Brian, and let me see who else is here. DD8209, Fun. Let me see here. Brian Taylor, and it's me, Boss Lady. So that's all I can see. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Stay tuned for the next one. So like, dislike, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until next time, everyone, stay tuned. Bye.